Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is Robin Hoodz right here, and I'm here to talk about one of the most interesting animes out there, Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Quick facts as always, this anime is based off the manga created by Akira Amano, and the original Japanese run went from the 2006 to 2010, consisting of multiple arcs with a total of 203 episodes. The story mainly revolves around a junior high school boy named Suna, who has been chosen to be the 10th leader of the Mafia Vongola family. He is chosen due to the fact of his bloodlines and inheritance and in that Vongola family tree. Even though there's a lot of references about the mafia and how it works, and there's some similarities here and there, it's not really your typical mafia related content. With Suna being a clumsy, underachieving, dumb character and just a total loser really, until he meets an infant, a very interesting infant named Reborn. He was sent by the 9th head of the Vongola family to train up and prepare Suna as he becomes the 10th member as his successor. Not only would open Suna up to this mafia family and its world and its opportunities and what other things comes with it, Reborn has also helped Suna in many ways, which is starting off from building that crappy character really. Reborn is obviously not your typical infant. There's obviously a lot of backstory behind that, which is easily one of the best aspects of this anime. Suna would obviously decline all these offers throughout the series as he knows more about how this whole mafia thing works and what they believe in. And if anything, if he's willing to join this, he's willing to change it and change what they would stand for and what they would be doing on a regular basis moving forward. At first, it would definitely act more like a comedy anime. It's very clear. There's not really action or your typical shonen aspects in here. Besides obviously the comedy part of it, as Reborn tries to set Suna straight, not just with his personality and his attitude, but also in his schools, his studies. He's there to help him, lecture him, and mentor him to become a better person in general. One of the most interesting aspects of his training, Suna, is definitely using the dying wheel bullet, which in simplicity pretty much kills the person, and they get reborn into a very strong-willed, strong-minded a version of themselves to achieve their goals and motives. Although it only lasts for a couple of minutes and they pretty much revert back to where they were, Suna, as the series goes, he would learn to control it and make it last a lot longer than the usual dosage of it. Later on, as Suna develops and learns to control, this dying will version of himself, it's almost like, Yugi and Yami from Yu-Gi-Oh! Like he goes from like the worst character to like the most badass character easily. So that's a good dynamic in there. Now I'm telling you guys, the first arc of this anime, they call it the Daily Life arc, which is about 19 episodes. It is easily the most painful part of the anime. I'm talking like I was so close giving up on it. That's how bad it was, honestly. Even though there was a lot of funny moments, here and there was just those 19 episodes just became too repetitive, uninteresting, and honestly, it made me feel frustrated at times watching it. Mainly because of how Suna develops, in my opinion, within these 19 episodes. Which is there's none. Like, he was negative from then, from the episode 1, he's still the same negative person attitude in that 19th episode. Now, I'm not expecting him become a fully developed character by 19th episode. But if you have someone like Reborn who's doing his best, doing the best he can to mentor you, although he's got some interesting ways of training him, obviously, but at least show us a glimpse of something, or show us where this training or this mentorship would lead. You know, he's even just tease us, you know, in episodes here and there. But I wasn't even feeling any of that at all. Mainly it's Suna for this 19 episodes, and also the repetitive aspect of these 19 episodes, that you will really just have to tough it out if you're willing to, you know, we want to give this a good shot. Because after that it's when you really start to appreciate it a lot more. Well, the great aspects of these 19 episodes is meeting the supporting characters. And honestly, they are one of the main reasons that really kept me engaged throughout the whole series. Not just the supporting characters, you know, here and there, but also them, even including Suna. The way they all bond and the way they work together, that's what really kept me engaged throughout. You could probably start to gauge now already that I'm not really a big fan of the main character. But it's these supporting characters as they come into Suna's lives and social lives that really puts that flavor into it. And Reborn's a part of it too, you know, he's strategically placed, picking these people up, picking these students and different characters up organically as well. And so each and every one of them have that different personality and different motives. They think differently. They have certain emotions that sticks with them, that makes them memorable, and that's like their trademark. You know, each character has their own trademark personality. So I'll give you guys a quick rundown of the supporting characters as it definitely deserves so. One of our leading supporting characters is Hayato Gokudera, who is a half Italian, half Japanese boy, and very, very, very extremely loyal to Suna, and desperately wants him to be his right-hand man to this mafia family. He's very smart, but yet so hot-headed. He's got a lot of funny moments. He's a funny character. He overreacts at everything, and honestly, I thought I would find him really annoying, but I ended up liking his presence each time because he differs so much from the rest of the characters. Now, Suna, as being the leader of the Vongola family, he would need his guardians to support him, you know, act like he's pretty much like a disciple sort of thing, that would help him fight and, you know, protect him and fight the evil with him. And Gokudera is the Storm Guardian, and he utilizes a lot of dynamites and his iconic weapon, the Flame Arrow. Then there's the other side of stuff, which is Takeshi Yamamoto, who is a very calm, cool, very friendly character. He's got a lot of those dumb moments and got that easy-go-lucky personality. He is the Rain Guardian and uses his main weapon, which is a katana named Shigure Kintoki. This katana was inherited from his father, and he would learn so many different sword techniques and swordsmanship right throughout the series, which he's actually got a lot of those epic battles as well. And surprisingly, he's got a lot of these unique, smart moments for considering how much of a dumb character he portrays at times. Another one is Ryohei Sasagawa, an older student who is very obsessed with the sport of boxing and always lives his life to the extreme. Absolute hilarious character at times, and he is the Sun Guardian for the Vongola family. With boxing obviously his main arsenal, with the help of the Maximum Cannon ability, which enhances his power and boxing abilities to even greater heights. Next one on the list is Kiyoya Hibari, which is the leader of the Namimori Middle Disciplinary Committee. And it sounds really nerdy, you know, when you hear about it, but he's actually the complete opposite person that you would think he would be. He would do anything to protect the school. He would go as far as hurting them, killing them, as long as you provide a threat, misconduct, and something that will put the school at risk. He's your stereotypical cool, calm, but aggressive and yet arrogant character, you know, in most shonen animes that we see today. Being a guardian as well, he is the Cloud Guardian, and his main weapons are the Tonfas. He uses a lot of his surprisingly amazing fighting abilities from the get-go, and what's his biggest attribute, in my opinion, is his endurance and his toughness to withstand so much punishment and still kept going and still, you know, can get calm and still pretty laser focused towards the goal and whoever they wanted to defeat. Easily one of the strongest characters in the anime. It's just a shame, obviously, for the whole Von Gala family and the team that he doesn't really care too much about them. He is definitely part of their group, but he's just there to because he has the same motives and has the same goals as the actual team, and to fight the bad guys and whoever's threatening the school and the world, really. And he just gets mixed up in all the action. But at the same time, that shows so many different diversity and complexity within the group. Now, next one is definitely an interesting one. Lambo, a 5-year-old kid who is very annoying, to say the least. Matter of fact, his original agenda to the team is to actually kill Reborn. He is your spoiled, childish, cowardly character, and everybody obviously finds him annoying, which understandably, and just look at him at the way he looks. At times he's hilarious, but at times he's also super annoying. But surprisingly enough, he's actually one of the stronger characters too, and being a guardian in himself, which obviously was a shock to me as well. He is the lightning guardian and he uses so many different explosives in his arsenal. One of his most iconic one is the 10-year bazooka. As stated by the name, Lambo can actually jump into the bazooka and then comes out with 10 years later, so that makes him a 15-year-old teenager. Which gets interesting even more because he's more mature, but yet he's still that, the crybaby type of personality still in him, and there's still some surprises later on within that bazooka, and actually becomes, a critical part of the story, which I won't spoil. The final guardian on our list is Mukuro Rokudo, or should I say Chrome Dokuro as well, because it's actually 2 in 1 package right here. So it's 2 people count as 1. Interestingly enough, Mukuro is actually one of the primary antagonists of the series. So he's a villain to start off with. Eventually, as things happen, he gets chosen as the Mist Guardian, or destined to be the Mist Guardian. And as things happen, he ended up being the Mist Guardian and uses Chrome Dokuro as his vessel and connection to the world. The connection and history between these two is something that you have to find out for yourself, because as just stated before, I probably spoiled already a little bit of it there. Just to explain that, it in big picture, but yeah, the backstory is really cool between these 2 characters and how they all wind up into the situation. So that's definitely something to check out and something to watch out for. They have the iconic trident as their main weapon, and they use a different variety of illusions and summons at their disposal. Like I said before, the connections between these characters as a Von Gala family and as a unit is what really keeps you engaged right throughout to the very end. So that's why I really show that appreciation for it. Despite saying all that, as good as the family is and as good as they are as a team, nothing beats the actual legit supporting character, to me, that should have been the main character, which is Reborn. Reborn, which is the anime was named after, is easily the best character in the series. His cool personality, motives, and got that great presence around Suna, and even the team in each and every one of them has shown that great development process and how he made them a lot better and evolve in a way. So he's really a key part of this series, even though he's just when you start watching it, it seems like he's just there like a mentor, like a Roshi or Jiraiya, but he's more than that. The fact that he's infant but yet he's such a great leader and a mentor to everyone is always an intriguing thing to watch. He's always had that great connection with everyone, and he's always out there to help them and mentor everyone. But it's really the serious but yet funny at the same time. This is the key for Reborn. Like, he is so funny, but yes, he can be so serious as well, and it can all happen in one episode. So that's really what makes him so dynamic and so intriguing. That being said as well, the history of Reborn, which I still beg to this day, I really wish they could continue the anime to know more about his cursed past, how these babies become this, which I will talk about a bit later on, is this Acrobaleno. To me, those factors are really the ones that heightened me. I'm like, wow, I want to know more. I want to know more about the past. I want to know more how this become, such a big deal later on in the series. So all in all, for Reborn, whether it's the past, present, and the future coming up, it's definitely something that you really want to look forward to seeing more. As for the animation, it's pretty average. I guess it's not bad, but yet it's not really a standout. Same goes with the art style. I guess it's a colorful anime, if that really tickles your fancy. I mean, it's a very colorful anime. I wouldn't really call the animation or the graphics amazing or anything, but I could definitely say that it gets a lot better later on in the series. So I think the last 2 arcs, you can definitely tell the difference between compared to the earlier episodes and how much it has improved. As the theme switches from a comedy to a light-hearted one to a very or more serious one, you can definitely see how it's shown, especially in the fights or even a bit of it in the drama. As you would probably expect, as more stronger bad guys come and more threat to the Vongola family comes, Suna and the whole team gets a lot stronger. You would see different powers, equipments, and gets placed in different situations. That is, to me, one of the most exciting things. For each and every time someone gets a new power or a new upgrade, I'm always keen to see more of it, and I wish them to expand a little bit more on that as well. I guess maybe because there's so many supporting characters with the Guardians, if they really put that much attention and development to each and every one of them, the story won't really progress as fast as it should be, which is even though it's already a quite slow-paced anime in terms of the big picture stuff. But definitely the development of the powers, the upgrades, and the strength increase of the characters is easily one of the greatest parts of the anime. Now, as for my personal opinion in the whole experience of this anime, I can definitely say the later 2 arcs are the ones that really got it rolling like super crazy. That's when I was mostly engaged and I just want to find out more what happens next. But like I said before, to get there, it can be a slow grind. It's a lot of very highs and then very lows instantly, highs and lows instantly. And instead of, when you're watching an anime, of course there will be that highs and lows, the ups and downs. You just don't want it to go high all the time, you don't want it to go low all the time. It's all about creating that dynamic flow. So, but especially in the early arcs and episodes of this anime, it's a sharp high, low, and then sometimes too low for a while, then brief high, and then down again instantly. So it breaks that momentum rather than having that dynamic up and down flow that just makes you just want to go with the flow and go with the journey and story of the anime. So I would say pacing is definitely one of the biggest issues in this anime. It definitely affected my experience overall. What could have been a great anime to, it's just a good one. I wouldn't say it's bad. I can recommend it to people to watch it and to check it out, but it's not like I would shove to people's throats and just like, yes, you gotta check it out, A lot of great animes knows how to do that perfectly. The balance and the connections of highs, dramas, comedies, all in one nice flow. But this is the crazy thing about it. As the later episodes come and the later arcs go, that's actually the time when I was finally engaged to the anime. Like, I'm fully captivated. So when I got up to that height of the anime at the end of the last arc, I want to keep going, but then it just suddenly just ended there. Like touching on the subject of all these cursed infants like Acrobaleno, and as the Suna and the team gets more mature and gets more experience and they finally start to develop that great chemistry, it just comes to a sudden stop. Even I was starting to get a big fan of Suna. Like, the more he was controlling that dying wheel, the more badass powers, and just to go on a sudden stop like that is just such a wasted potential. I honestly believe that this is one of those animes that it could be so much better when it's remade, when the pacing is a bit better. And after getting remade to the events that just happened just then, add the new arcs into it to make it a complete package. I really reckon that will make it really much better, to say the least. It could even be an amazing anime. Considering the concept of this anime is really unique and something I've never heard of before, and who would have thought of thinking about mafia and babies would go along together. overall, despite its flaws, I'm gonna give it a nice B rating. In the end, I was engaged and experiencing a lot of fun, a lot of laughter throughout my journey in this Hitman Reborn series. So I'm not saying it's bad or anything at all, it's just, it definitely has its flaws. So in fact, if I really found it that horrible, I wouldn't have finished and watched all 203 of them. So feel free to check it out. I guess my advice is just don't have too much high expectations and you'll just enjoy it for what it is. Thank you for your time again. Hope you liked the video and feel free to drop a like, would really appreciate it. Comment down below if you've seen it. Let me know what you thought of it personally. My Instagram, check it out as well. The link is down below. And finally, stay tuned, subscribe, and keep joining the journey with me. So for now, Robin Hoodz, over and out.